So yeah, till now we have seen the longitudinal vibration on bar. We have defined the Newton's equation, wave equation, boundary condition, longitude, uh, the Lagrangian approach or the energy approach to get the wave equation. Everything we have seen. So now let's look at the numerical questions to have better understanding. So over here, the system is given, a force is applied, that is the longitudinal force, and the direction of displacement in u is defined over here, and the rod properties or the bar properties are rho a, and area is a function of x, so it is not a constant. So this is the FBD. So I can make my bar over here, or a differential element is this is a differential element, and this is the internal force which is acting, and this is the external force which is applied. And I need to write the boundary conditions and equation of motion. Equation of motion is just that differential equation which we have derived, so it is not going to change at all, but we'll look at it. So the boundary conditions will be at x is equal to 0, the internal force which is coming, which is in the opposite to x direction, should be equal to the external force f of t, and at x is equal to 0, since it is clamped, my displacement should be 0. So at u, L, comma t is 0. So displacement at L at all times t is 0. And the equation of motion is not at all going to change. It is going to be exactly remain same. So this is the equation of motion, which will be simplified to E by rho is equal E by rho square, del square u by del x square is equal to del square u by del t square. Okay, thank you. So in the we'll look at another question also, which is shown over here. So we are given with two mass, and the two mass in between the two mass we have a rod. So this is a rod, and we have a spring and damper. So now we want to write the boundary conditions for that system, which is given over here. So let's start with it. So we'll make the FBD, and that's all we need to do for all the cases. So this is first mass. It has a internal force which is from the rod, which is acting in the plus x direction, which is AE del u by del x. This is the spring force. This is the damping force. And for the other mass, we'll have the spring force, damping force, and the internal force which is acting. Internal force of the bar, which is acting on as a reaction force on the mass. So this is the equation. This is the boundary I'm writing the boundary condition. So this is the inertia. Inertia is equated to the spring force, damping force, and the external force which is acting. So that's the boundary condition we have. And so we have got the boundary condition by force equation, because the displacement are not going to 0. So I'm trying to get a force balance equation, and that the force balance equation is actually the boundary condition for us. And this is the final boundary condition for x is equal to 0. So I have rearranged the terms. And at x equal to L also we have similar boundary condition, but the direction is just changing. So this is a negative sign. That's the only difference. And this is the final equation for my boundary condition at x is equal to L. Let's look at one more. So this is we need to find the natural frequencies and boundary condition. So you must notice that we are stressing so much on the boundary conditions, because those are the practical problems which one will face when he is given with some any system, and he need to figure out or think about what boundary conditions will be applicable. So let's say we have a mass which is m attached to the rod in the x direction. So at x equal to 0, I have u 0 comma t is 0. This is this boundary condition. And then x equal to L, the internal force from the rod in the x direction is equal to the inertia. And now we need to find the natural frequencies. So natural frequencies means normal mode solutions would be assumed. We substitute that, and mode shape and natural frequencies we will come from the spatial part. We know earlier also the mode shapes will and natural frequencies are coming from the spatial part, and this is going to be a representative of SHM motion. So we use the boundary conditions, ignore the initial conditions. These are the term which will need the initial condition. This u of x representation of the function are going to need the boundary condition. So we'll use the boundary condition to get a and b, and we'll also get the omega n. So we'll get the a and b very much similar to what we have done earlier. The boundary conditions are known. Will use the boundary condition and use the normal mode solution to get the a and b values. So we have got a value as 0, and I have got an equation for b. So this is the equation. So this is the final characteristic equation after I am going to get the solution. So earlier we used to have a characteristic equation such as sine omega L by C is equal to 0, or sine or cos omega L by C equal to 0. But over here we have non-zero values for those. And over here we have trigonometric tan function instead of sine and cos. But that is completely fine. What we want is we want a relation for omega in terms of system parameters. So we have got an implicit equation in omega in terms of system parameters, which are E, A, C, and L. So that's all we have. So we'll stop over here. In the next video, we'll look at translational vibration on the shaft, or torsional vibration, not translational, torsional vibration on a shaft. So we'll stop over here. Thank you.